We lost everything. I'm not being dramatic when I say that. I mean it in the way that changes how a family moves through a room together. The financial crisis that hit us wasn't a setback, it was a before and after. And when you're standing in the after, no savings, no backup, no clear path forward, and get very honest with yourself very quickly. I had two choices, sulk or build. I chose to build, and I had absolutely no idea what that meant yet. I'm Neha. This is Building FLURTH, episode 2. There's a version of the founder story that starts at the first win, the award, the launch, the moment something worked. I want to tell you about the year before that, because I think that year is actually the story. No bank loans, no investors knocking, no safety net. What I had was a great set of friends and well-wishers who believed in me when I hadn't yet given them any evidence to. And I had something that sounds soft until you actually needed it. A lot of healing, a lot of self-belief, and yes, manifestation. I say that knowing some of you just roll your eyes. That's fine. But I will tell you honestly, FLURTH does not exist without that inner work. The external building, the formulations, the research, the connections. None of it starts if you haven't first decided, quietly and completely, that you're going to do this. So for a year, invisibly, that's what I did. Building on formulations, speaking to potential customers, reading everything I knew, the direction, the design-led skincare, clean ingredients, built for real life. But a direction isn't business. It's a hypothesis. And I was testing it with no money and no timeline. COVID had done something unexpected for founders like me. It forced factories to go online. Supply chains that used to require physical presence suddenly became reachable directly. So I started reaching out globally. LinkedIn became my trade floor. I was just planning, listening, learning every day. A little further into the world I didn't fully understand yet. There is a version of hustle that looks like nothing from the outside. No announcement, no visible progress, no milestones to post. Just you and the work and the belief that it will eventually mean something. That year was mine. Maybe you've had one too. Don't apologize for it. It's not lost time. It's the foundation. On my birthday, a dear friend came to wish me and she handed me a check of 5 lakh rupees. I didn't ask for it. I hadn't told her I needed it in that specific way. She just knew. That's what real friendship looks like. When you're building something in the dark, people show up not because you ask them to, but because they have been watching you and they believe in what they see. I was hesitant to take it, not because I was too proud. I was past pride at that point, but because I had no idea if I could return it. I didn't know what I was building well enough yet to promise return to anyone. So I sat with it for over a month. The money sat in my account and I didn't touch it. I kept asking myself, am I ready? Do I know enough? Is the timing right? And then I realized that a question never has a clean answer. You're never fully ready. You just have to decide that the cost of not starting is higher than the cost of starting wrong. So I decided, let's do it. And the first thing I did with that money was to buy a plane ticket. Cosmoprof, the first one happening in the US, and I decided to go. If you don't know Cosmoprof, it's the largest beauty trade show in the world. Factories, formulations, packaging houses, ingredient suppliers, brands, distributors, every piece of beauty supply chain in one enormous space. I remember those 3 days just like a dream. No frills, just thrills of discovery. That's exactly how I felt. Coffee after coffee, stall after stall, walking and walking until my feet had nothing left. I barely ate. I don't think I sat down for more than 20 minutes at a stretch. Because design-led skincare needs 2 things to exist: packaging experts and formulation experts. And they were all there under one roof for 3 days. The US is the biggest consumer market in the world of beauty, which means the entire global supply chain shows up to be in the room with it. Chinese factories, Korean labs, European ingredient houses, American distributors. I had more substantive conversations in those 3 days than I had in my entire previous year online. And that's where I met my Korean partners. I want to say something about them because it matters. These aren't vendors, they are partners in the truest sense. Through delays in money, through order complications, through every hard moment that comes when you're building something real with limited resources, they stayed. You don't find that in a directory. You find that in a room, in a real conversation, when two people look at each other and decide they're building something together. Take the first step. Genuinely take it. Not the planned step, not the safe step, the one that costs you something, and watch what arrives. A friend with the birthday money, the Korean partners at Cosmoprof, the connections that opened from those connections, none of it was planned. All of it required me to be in motion first. Here's what I got wrong. I held that money for over a month because I was waiting to feel ready. And I've since watched other founders do exactly the same thing with money, with ideas, with opportunities, waiting for the feeling of readiness that never quite arrives. Readiness is a myth. It's a story we tell ourselves to make delay feel responsible. What I know now, you don't get ready and then start. You start and then you get ready. Every single thing I learned about formulations, packaging, partnerships, I've learned it after I committed, not before. The information you need to start is never ever available before you start. It only becomes available once you're in motion. I wish someone had said that to me on day one, so I'm saying it to you now. Next week, I'm going into the formulation process itself. What design-led skincare looks like when you're standing in a Korean lab, pointing at ingredients on a list, trying to build something that has never been existed before. It's messier than it sounds and more beautiful. If this episode landed for you, share it with someone who's sitting on the first step of things right now. I'm Nehaya and this is Building FLURTH.